Good afternoon. Welcome on in to From Day One. And today, let's head back to the courtroom with our good friend Mike.
Got to see what that is on your shirt. Why don't you come up here and let me see why you're wearing a t-shirt that has Sesame Street on it? Is that the Cookie Monster? No, it's the trash one. The one that's always in trash. Oscar the Grouch. And it says Street Light. What does that mean? I don't know. It's just a shirt through our... This is not amusing to me. It is to me.
It is.
Go outside and turn that inside out.
And now, this weird courtroom moment with Chris.
Mr. Ibotta.
Oh, we're back.
Take yourselves off mute.
It's happening.
Please take yourself off mute.
My name wasn't called.
Jonathan makes quite an
Are
appearance.
you on the 11 o'clock calendar? Are you a witness for somebody, or are you on the 9:30 position 1?
Melvin Blackman.
Oh, that was called early this morning. I had to call my 11 o'clock calendar. All right, Ms. Ibotta.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Iorio, you need to take yourself off mute. Take yourself off mute, sir. You got to hit that microphone.
Take yourself off of the mute.
Sir, you have to take yourself off mute because I cannot hear you. You have to take yourself off mute.
For the 97th time.
You know? You hear me now, ma'am?
Yep, both of you raise your right hands. Y'all swear firm testimony you're about to give is the whole truth. I can hear you. You swear firm testimony you're about to give is the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ibotta, tell me what's going on. Start from the most recent event and work backwards. Stick to stalking or family violence, okay? Don't need a lot of background. I know what I need to hear. Stalking or family violence. You don't have any witnesses, right?
I do not have a witness.
Okay, go ahead and start and tell me what's going on. Start with the most recent event.
Okay. Could I start with why I filed the order?
So the most recent event of family violence, and work backwards. So what's happened that's made you do this? The most recent event. Go ahead.
So the reason...
I'm sorry, Ms. Ibotta, you speak really softly. I can barely hear you. You have to...
Okay. So the reason that I filed the order is because there was an event where my phone went missing, and then my phone was used to text someone that I was dating at the time, and I was receiving up to I would wake up to receive as many as 100 text messages from Mr. Iorio that, some were, incoherent, some were, sort of threatening in nature.
Let me get that. When was this happening, all these text messages?
So
1937, Your Honor.
approximately a month and a half ago.
All right, so August. So what's happened in September?
So in September, I believe it was September the 4th, is when my phone was missing. And I believe that it was, Jonathan who took it. He still denies it at this time, but like I said, it was used to text someone that I was dating. Which just led to, after that happened, an increase of, texts from him, phone calls, showing up at my house. We share a child together. She's 6 years old, which is, the reason that we were still maintaining these sort of relationship is because I was trying to allow him to have some relationship with her. I felt safe with her being with him or alone at where he lives, and so I was when we would see each other would be at my house. And when these events were happening, and like I said, the messages I was receiving, I just realized that I was never gonna that I just didn't have control. At my house with just at all, and that's the reason that I filed the order.
So he texts you 100 times a day?
Well, like I said, and I did get like videos of other messages. You can see just like the amount. But yes, there were times I wake up and I would have like 100 text messages. And
Have you told him
throughout the day.
Have you told him to stop texting you?
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ario. I mean, you said you wanted a lawyer, and then later you said, "Oh, I'm sick a little bit," but there's something else is going on besides being sick.
I have COVID-19. I'm up here in upstate New York. I came to help my friend out. He caught COVID. I just caught COVID myself. But I'm saying, I was upset when Elise, I found out she did not want anything to do with me. So I realized that wasn't going to work. And before I even realized I was served with any kind of paperwork, I already made an agreement with her, and my mother was mediating that I would just be able to talk to my daughter. And all I care about is talking to my daughter. I don't care if it's a postcard, an email, a Zoom call. I just need to be able to talk to her just at least once a day. That's all I want. And I don't care. In person would be great.
Were you texting her 100 times a day?
There was a time when I found out that she was dating somebody else, and I lost my mind, and I was hurt. So it was like a matter of 3 or 4 days. I went crazy and texted her out of control, and I was basically just saying I didn't agree with having her meet men that I haven't met yet. I think if she's gonna be dating a man, he should meet me first, and then.
Oh, good Lord. I give him 2 points for fessing up to going crazy and texting too much. Because he did. And at least he just said, yep, I did it.
Okay.
But then he has to say to the judge, I think that this woman, who he's not married to, should have to introduce her boyfriends to me. And, okay, I get it, you have a child together, but it's just not how it works, brother.
To me, my daughter. I think that's fair. And that's the problem.
No.
She just, my
Mr.
daughter.
Rodriguez, have you legitimated your child and done things like that?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
And that is what
I know about it. I cut the bill for it. I was there for the first 6 years. She said she changed the address, but my address was the same as hers.
Yes, I also was trying to look it up. Thank you for whoever sent this to me. I didn't get it. I did another clip from Manning from the same day. It's all good. I didn't have it recorded, so you recorded the whole thing and sent it to me. Thank you. You know who you are. You're the only one who did.
The last 3 years, and she just moved in May.
There's another thing that she seems to be concerned about in here. She says there's issues of drug abuse. Behavior that makes her feel not safe.
It was nothing to do. I just want to be able to write my kid a postcard, talk to my kid on the phone. I'm not asking for much. I'm not asking for custody.
Tell me about the drug abuse, Miss Ibotta.
Speak, Miss Ibotta.
Is that recent?
Well, first I just want to clarify.
I prescribe drugs. I take Xanax that's prescribed.
Go ahead, Miss Ibotta. Don't interrupt, sir. Go ahead, ma'am.
I mean, because, we don't live together, I don't know the full extent of it, but I know, that he's had issues for a long time that go hand in hand with mental health issues that, I've been wanting him to get help for, and I think he has tried, but never successfully to, get on track. But there has been, instances where I've found things at my home in times when we.
What have you? Don't talk in code, man. You gotta tell me what you found. Don't talk in code. You gotta tell me what you found. What have you found?
And what have you actually
physically
found your?
And marijuana, just places where that were just open and out and obvious.
What kind of pills? Mr. Garbonic, you're out of here. You can't drive and be on Zoom. Sir, you're out of here. Mike, you can't drive and be on Zoom. No matter what, can't drive and be on Zoom.
She's talking about
what
different
kind
case.
of pills? Tell me.
I mean, likely they were the Xanax that, like you said, he has a prescription to.
Okay, but in here you talk about drug abuse. You've left him for drug use.
There is drug abuse. Like I said, I don't live with him. I don't know the extent, but I know that, there are times where he is, like where I've seen him, or we've had like a a meeting, for him to come over and see our daughter, and he was like not okay, and I had to ask him to leave. I think, maybe it's in combination with alcohol and prescription drugs or other things. I can't say exactly what they are every time, but it's apparent to me when he is not sober. So I don't know if I can detail what they are, but like I said, I know, they're saying it.
How does he act when he's not sober?
Well, I mean, most of the time, it's, just that he's incoherent or falling asleep or, just not able to be.
Is that like today?
Not spend time with a child.
Is that like today, ma'am?
Ma'am?
It feels sort of reminiscent. Yeah, I have times where I've seen him before.
Good Lord, woman, yes. Just answer yes. It is like today. He looks like he's on drugs. The judge is trying to help you. When it says, those drug abuse times, does it sort of look like what we're seeing right here? Yes, Judge, it does.
What else, sir?
All I want to do is have any contact with my daughter. And I don't understand why. Even if that means not being seeing her every day, but at least 1 second, right? Every time I'm apart from her, she should not grow up without having any contact with her father. She's completely isolated.
Mr. Ario, I could not agree more. However, your child needs you healthy, sober, and in a good place. And from the way you talked at the beginning, something else is going on, sir, with you. Something else is going on. This isn't COVID. I'm sorry. You're slurring your words. I don't know what you're doing now, but it ain't helping. So, let me tell you this. I never want to keep people from their child. However, you have not legitimated your child. That means that everybody on the screen has just as much rights to that child as you do, which is fine, because you need to step up and legitimate the child. I cannot make her let you see this child. And right now, if this right now is how you are, and it's not COVID, sir, because you're chugging pink grapefruit juice like it is going out of style.
Oh.
So, it ain't COVID. Get your act together for the sake of this child. But right now, you admitted to it. You were texting her. I don't care if you lost your mind. You can't do that, sir. This is about this child. I'm putting this in place for 12 months, sir. And we can put on there, Ms. Free, that if and when he legitimates, that judge here in that case can make any sort of changes to that as far as contact with that child as he or she wants to. But right now, sir, there's nothing I can do. You have no rights to this child because you haven't legitimated. And I urge all fathers to do that if you're not married to the child, because if not, there's nothing that any of us can do. But sir, you got to get sober. This ain't COVID. This is not COVID that you got going on. I promise you it's not COVID. So, both of you put your emails in the chat. This hearing's over. Once you put your emails in the chat, we'll email you copies of the order, and you can leave.
I need Deborah for
Thank you.
Yes, you do, Mike.
All right, Ms. Smith, did you guys work something out? I sure hope so. Ms. Ibotta, once you put your email in the chat, y'all can leave. Stay healthy and safe. Ms. Smith, did y'all work anything out? Or are you still chatting?
Your Honor, I made a proposal and it was not accepted. I'm happy to make the proposal that I made to opposing counsel to the court.
All right, hold on. Mr. Haynes, how did it go?
Your Honor, we have a consent agreement. I will draft it up, make sure that Mr. Manabat it's consistent with what our agreement is, and then get it to the court early afternoon, if that's okay with the court.
All right, Ms. Free will put her email in the chat for you, so you can email it to her, and she'll get it to me, and thank you. You are a lawyer of the day.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused after that?
If you haven't hit like and subscribe, I just want you to know that you're hurting Jack's feelings.
No, don't hurt Jack's feelings.
Mr. Myers, welcome back. We're now on the record in 2022, CR 93, State of Kansas versus Jason Michael Joseph Myers. Please announce appearances.
May it please the court, the state appears by Jill Gillette, County Attorney.
Mr. Myers appears
This starts normal, but you need the background, and don't worry, it goes off the rails.
In person, in custody via Zoom, by and through counsel Richard Paw at a different location.
Any announcements on this preliminary hearing control?
Yes, Judge. The labs are back, and at this time, Mr. Myers would waive his right to a preliminary hearing.
Mr. Myers, is that correct? You wish to waive your right to this preliminary hearing today?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you do have a number of felonies, count one being DUI, fourth or subsequent conviction, and count two, interference with law enforcement. Those felonies give you the right to the preliminary hearing. Now, as Mr. Paw has most likely told you, a preliminary hearing is one in which the state of Kansas has the burden of producing evidence to make it appear that these felony crimes have been committed and to show probable cause that you're the one that committed those crimes. Preliminary hearing is not a trial to determine whether you're guilty or not guilty, but it's a hearing to determine if there's enough evidence to require you to stand trial, or in other words, to be bound over for trial. At a preliminary hearing, you have the right to be present with your attorney, and you have the right and opportunity to challenge the state's evidence, to challenge the existence of probable cause for further detention, and you have the right to subpoena witnesses, cross-examine the state's witnesses, and present evidence on your own behalf. A preliminary hearing would apprise you about the nature of the crimes charged and the sort of evidence you'd be required to meet if you were to stand trial. If you waive or give up your right to the preliminary hearing, however, there will be no hearing, and you will be bound over to the district judge for further proceedings. You will be required to appear at a later date before the judge for arraignment, at which time you'll enter the plea to each of these felonies against you, plus the remaining misdemeanors. Looks like you have about 6 of them. Until then, you will be remanded to the custody of the sheriff unless or until you make bonds. Do you feel like you've had enough time to talk to Mr. Paul about the preliminary hearing and waiving it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you need any more time to visit with him before we proceed?
Not at this time.
And do you wish to still waive your right to preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you voluntarily waiving this right?
Yes.
Has anyone made threats or promises to cause you to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am.
And are you in good health today?
Yes.
Taking any medications which might impair your judgment today?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Paw, do you know of any reason why the court should not accept the defendant's waiver?
No, Judge, we'd ask that you accept his waiver.
Very well. And Ms. Gillette, does the state wish to waive its right to preliminary hearing?
The state does, Your Honor.
The court then finds the state of Kansas has waived its right to a preliminary hearing. The court further finds the defendant has made a knowing waiver of his right to a preliminary hearing after consultation with counsel.
Mike, are we there?
Judge, you died on us.
Okay. Your Honor.
Because there's no internet. All Greenwood County just went under.
Yeah, we did.
We just had a power surge here.
Your Honor.
The cost judge, too.
Unbelievable.
Attorney Paul kind of cracks me up. He's near the end of the call and he just doesn't care. He wants his call over. I can relate after years of practice.
Is the jail on okay?
Yeah, we're back online. I can hear all of you anyway.
Yeah, no, we never lost. We never lost it. We pay our bills.
Oh.
This happens to the count. I am now the host of court, so until judge comes back and I can send it back to her. Oops.
He's free to go. guys' electrical system was more than just a squirrel in a freaking wheel cage. You guys might have reliable electricity.
It's been happening a lot lately. When this happened before, they caught the microwave on fire in the office. Thank God someone was here and didn't burn the courthouse down. If it had happened at night, we wouldn't have a courthouse.
She is cute. She is.
They end up breaking the brand new ice machine I bought. I'm going to be mad.
Oh, ice is good.
I just want Judge to come back. That's all I want.
Y'all want Judge back.
This is Kansas.
Jason, you must be working out in the sun a lot. You sure look tan.
I don't know if we're going to have to log off and log back in for Misty to get control again.
The attorney tries to bring him in. It's cute. He doesn't respond at all. But the defendant's like, I'm in the middle. I'm on the hot seat in the middle of a bunch of nonsense. I don't find any of this amusing.
You are killing me, Smalls.
Any lot reference there?
If they get it back.
Go up there and see what we're doing.
Hang on.
Please. Sorry to make you wait, buddy. I can't hear you. I think you got to push the microphone for us to hear you. Phones don't work either.
Well played.
Really?
Oh.
Just have Webster come down to your office. You have internet, but there's only 2 cases left. Just have her come down. Have her go to the jail.
Yeah, that's not going to work much.
I'm sure the jail is near the court, and it's a reasonable suggestion. He's like, there are 2 more cases on the call. Just find a freaking computer and let's finish this thing.
Judge hasn't made it back yet? No, I think she's on the phone there. Right there.
Walk down the stairs. Walk down the stairs. Appear in Jill's office. There's 2 cases left. I don't think Dave would mind.
Jen should be coming in on a hotspot, and Missy will be with her, and she is now back to being host, and I'm not. There's Jen.
To the point where the court now finds that the defendant is bound over to the district judge.
Thank you, Vanguard. I can't see it, but I'm hearing good things about you. Thank you very much. I guess you're gifting memberships.
For further proceedings, and you will next appear before the district judge for arraignment, and Missy will give us that date, Judge. It'll be Judge Satterfield. Okay.
Satterfield?
Judge Satterfield.
And she's available November 17th at 1:30 or 4:30.
Okay, November 17th at 1:30 or 4:30.
And hers are in person. December 14th? I'm sorry.
November 17th.
November. No, I know one. November 17th at 1:30.
All right, that'll be for arraignment.
Judge, I'd like to address bond, please.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Judge.
I
I believe at the last hearing, it was 10,000 cash or surety. I may be mistaken. And one of the conditions was going to be for a scram bracelet. Well, Mr. Myers has been in custody for over 90 days now. That would be the minimum he would have to serve of any kind of jail time on this sentence. He would live in Augusta with his mother. We've talked about that before. He has sold his vehicle. He does not have a vehicle. His mother has has offered to drive him. I have actually spoken with her, Judge. So I would ask that be reduced. Oh, he's also on the work crew while he's been in custody. So, he has shown that he can do the right thing, and he can't drive because he doesn't have a vehicle, and so I would ask for that be reduced to an OR bond with a scram bracelet with weekly reporting to court services, Judge.
Ms. Gillette?
He has spent the 90 days, into my knowledge, Judge. He was arrested on June 25th, September, 3 months. He's past the 90-day mark. I would like to know, or have him maybe check in with court services so we know where he's at. Just make sure he's still at his mom's. Keep track of him.
I reduced this to 5,000 cash or surety. Can you make that, sir?
Probably not with a scram bracelet. The money that would.
Well, I'm thinking about. You've got a lot of.
It's also money that could go towards fines.
Yeah, but you've got. If these charges are true, you've got a significant alcohol problem.
They are. You're right.
I've been to treatment.
Jason, please don't discuss
Jason,
cases.
do not help.
As I recall, there were like 4. This would be like the 4th or so DUI. Is that right, Ms. Gillette?
It is.
I can't get my Odyssey to open, so.
It's 6. Yeah.
Judge, he's not denying the previous convictions, but if you got a scram bracelet, give him an OR bond. He's living with his mom. He's not a flight risk. If he's not driving, he's not a danger to the community. So,
if he's not driving, but even though he doesn't have a car, he can still find access to a vehicle. Does his mom have a car, Shirley?
Well, of course she does, Judge, because I just said that she's going to be the one driving him to any court appearances. But Judge, he's done his mandatory minimum, and I just he's done all the right things while he's in custody. So I think he deserves this chance, Judge. And I did not hear a strong opposition from the county attorney. So I would ask that you grant my request, Judge.
Remind me, do you have a job, Mr. Myers?
I could find one. I was supposed to start one the week following this arrest. There's plenty of temp to hire agencies in my area constantly hiring. Finding a job will not be an issue. I could imagine I'd probably be to work within the week. I'm doing, just working here for free, basically.
Well, I'm just terrified you can get out there and find a way to get in a car and get somebody hurt or killed. And I just think you pose a real threat to the community. We set this for November 17th. That's over a month away. You've been in 90 days. I'm going to reduce your bond to $5,000 cash or surety. You must have the EMD scram. And I want you to report to bond supervision where they take UAs if they need to, or test for substances. But that's the best I'm going to do for you. I can't just turn you loose on a night, or I can't, in good conscience, do that. So that's my order. There's nothing further.
No, I respect it, Judge, but I strongly disagree.
And I understand that, but that's where we are. Thank you, Mr. Polk.
Thank you, Judge. You guys have a great weekend. This is my last case, man.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Jason, if you get out, call me, okay?
Alright, well, thanks so much, man.
Right.
Well, there you have it. Attorney Paul finally makes it to Miller time there.
Oh, what happened? Oh. I guess we lost Mike, but that was the end of the case. Anyway, so we will leave him where he is. As we finish up these fights, we'll bring the afternoon session to a close. Please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe. Help us get to the goal of 50,000 views, 1,000 subscribers. To a box that goes in senseless knives, red presents, and of course, Google put us on the algorithm. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. Be kind to one another. And release the Kraken. As we march along this afternoon, and every afternoon, here from day one. Well, as we finish out, Sounds and the minion will return here just to finish the rest of these fights real quick. And again, have a great afternoon here from day one. So once again, thanks for watching from day one. Have a great afternoon.